If you scroll around on this app long enough and maybe even do a search in the search bar and type in, getting married before 6 months or getting married in 6 months or whatever, you're going to find a lot of stories about women who have done exactly this. They have gotten married within 6 months of knowing somebody, because the thing is, they say that a man knows exactly what he wants and it doesn't take that long for him to decide. But what's crazy is when I hear that statement, I'm wondering, why is it that we are centering men in this situation? Okay, if a man knows that he wants to make you his wife, that's awesome. That's okay. But what about your discernment, and what about your decision? What about a person can you see in 6 months or less that would make you decide to tie your entire life legally to another person? Keep in mind, this person has the ability to pull the plug on you in the hospital. He is now your next of kin, and you don't know him. He's basically a stranger. My advice to somebody who's been married more than once is to really take time to get to know a person through all the seasons. And no, I'm not talking about summer, winter, fall. I'm talking about see him when he gets upset. See what happens if he loses his job. See what happens if he ends up getting a windfall and all of a sudden he has, a lump sum of money in his pocket. See what happens if there's some sort of national, emergency. A lot of you guys learned a lot about your spouses during the pandemic. And it's not a coincidence that a lot of breakups and a lot of divorce happens during this time as well. I know that in a relationship that I was in, we got to know each other way different than we would have if the pandemic hadn't came around. You have a lot of people that'll say, you can use your discernment, and within 6 months, it doesn't take that long. You can, absolutely know that person is right for you. I beg to differ. I think that is entirely bullshit. And I think people are hoping on a wish and a prayer, and they are romanticizing something that shouldn't be romanticized. Because either way you go, you are going to go through the stages of a relationship. You're going to go through that love bombing phase, that infatuation phase. Then things are going to get more serious. You're going to start finding out things that you didn't know before. You're going to be disappointed. There are phases of a relationship that you're not going to skip. I don't care if you marry within 2 weeks or you marry within 5 years. You still have to go through each point of that relationship dynamic. Marry somebody in a quick time does not speed up that process. It just ensures that now you are legally tied to somebody while you are uncovering these things about that person. Now, if you just want to get married, go right ahead. Take your chances. See what you come out with. But just know that could have negative and sometimes dangerous consequences.